What's up, gang? It's Chris coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Today we're just gonna freestyle a little bit here today, in the sense of there's a lot floating through my mind that I want to share, and nothing super concrete. So that's okay, right? Like sometimes I often say in my programs, like truth comes out in iteration. So sometimes you just need to give yourself space to talk without an agenda, without a 3-point, sermon for what you're going to say. I am present to something, so we'll start there and see where it goes. Yes. What I'm present to is, years ago, there was a book by a friend of mine written called Stop Chasing Influencers. Shout out to Kamanzi Constable. I love this idea of stop chasing influencers. There was there's been a lot of I want to be like that person. And so we strive to not only be like them, network with them, get the results like them. And somewhere in the process, we've forgotten the value of those closer to us, right? Closer in results, closer in proximity, closer in values, closer in perspectives. Like you are surrounded by people who are showing up every day, working hard every day with a huge heart to help the world, and nobody asks them for their opinion. Nobody is asking them, how did you do it? Nobody is seeking to support them in their work, because we collectively keep looking to the influencers of the world, trying to be like them and emulate them and support them and whatever. But there are, let's put this in the context of your business for a minute, right? Like you are trying to grow your business. You are trying to grow your impact. You have important work in the world. And what if you didn't look to those who had already made it, but you looked to those who were in the trenches leading real work and showing up every day? And then you went further and you said, how can I support those people in their work? How can I support them in their work? Listen, I'm not saying this from having done this for years. I'm saying this from a place of, I'm curious in it. I'm curious about it. I want to explore it. How do we support other tribal leaders doing important things in the world that are have some alignment with what we're up to in the world? Sometimes in marketing, we think about these home runs, grand slams, these big moves, these overnight successes. We really sensationalize the results of things for ourselves. And I'm leaning into the idea that, at least for now, life and business and marketing is about leaning into people, and not the influencers of the world, but leaning into people who, rather than people who have 10,000 fans, that you lean into people who have 100, and you lean into people who have 1,000. And rather than trying to build an email list of 100,000 people, 10,000 people, you lean into people who already have an email list of 100, and you lean into people who have an email list of 500, right? Like you see, there is value in working with and supporting those who haven't reached the mountaintop, but are also not at the bottom of the mountain, right? Like they are doing the work every day. They're showing up and doing the work, and that you could build a relationship with those people, support them. What you might find is that you'll find support in return. And my theory here, it's my theory, although I don't have to, as a theory for me, because I am implementing it now, but it's not a theory in that I can see plenty of examples out in the world of this having already worked. But the theory here, right, would be, if you had, let's use the number 100. You had 100 of these tribal leaders who had 100 people on their email list. Or maybe it was 100 fans, or maybe it was 100 past clients, whatever, right? That's 10,000 people, 100 leaders times 100 people in each leader's fan base, database, email list, whatever, is 10,000 people. I'm so struck by the simplicity of that, and how for years I've pined for these sensational moves to make in marketing that would bring the house down and make it rain and do all these grandiose things, when in fact, if I had spent those years investing in 100 leaders who are up to something big in the world and invested there in that relationship, how much further would I be? Not even further in results and climbing the mountain and all that stuff, but just what about my groundswell of things? I think one of the things I love about the idea of supporting tribal leaders in their important work is that it furthers that work in the world. Conversely, if I spend a bunch of money on Facebook ads, that may further my business, and it also furthers Facebook business financially. But when let's say I took that same money I was going to spend on ads and I invested it in tribal leaders' businesses to support them in that work, now it benefits all of their businesses and my business, right? So it's just some food for thought. I want you to, marketing isn't one way. Marketing is not one way. Marketing is about, I'll say this again, I said it so many times, marketing is a conversation you lead in the world. Marketing is a conversation you lead in the world. Marketing is not about selling. Marketing makes a sale easier. Marketing is not selling. Marketing is about leading a conversation. So, I think our job here is to lead that conversation and to support others in leading their conversation. Marketing is not one way. You can do lots of things in the name of marketing to further the conversation, yes? It's not about a certain platform. It's not about a script. It's not about tools and technology. Marketing is about leading a conversation. And there are many people right now who are leading a conversation. That's who you want to invest in. That's who you want to network with. That's who you want to build connections with. Invest in those doing the work. Invest in those doing the work. And see where your business goes. That's what I'm up to. That's what I'm up to. I think it would benefit you too. All right, thanks for hanging out with me in this episode. If you'd like to learn more about how to create a message to lead your own conversation in the world so others want to invest in you, you can go to groundswellmethod.com. The link is in the text of this post. Go to groundswellmethod.com. Until tomorrow, when I see you again, here's to you investing in other tribal leaders.